All right, let's pull back the curtain on something that kind of feels like magic, but happens countless times every single day: the incredible journey of a Bitcoin transaction.
I mean, you've probably done it, right? You hit send in your wallet, and a moment later, poof, the funds show up. But what's going on in that little gap? Where does your transaction actually go? And how does it get there so fast? Let's dive in and find out.
To make this super clear, we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to follow one single payment from Alice, who's sending some Bitcoin, to Bob, who's receiving it. By tracking this one little payment, we're basically going to see how the entire Bitcoin network operates.
Okay, before Alice can even think about hitting send, we need to get a handle on the world her transaction is about to enter. We've got to understand the Bitcoin network itself. It's the foundation for, well, everything.
First things first, Bitcoin runs on what's called a peer-to-peer network. Now, what that really means is there's no central company in charge, no bank, no single server calling the shots. Instead, it's just this huge global team of equals, or peers, all talking directly to one another. No middlemen needed.
And the most important players in this network for our story are the full nodes. You can think of them as the guardians of the network. They're the ones holding the entire history of every transaction ever made, and they've got the software to check every new payment to make sure it's playing by the rules.
So just picture a giant, invisible spider web wrapped around the whole globe. Every point where the threads cross, that's a full node. And the threads themselves, those are the connections. This massive, decentralized web is exactly where Alice's transaction is about to start its journey.
Okay, the stage is set. Alice is ready to pay Bob. Let's look at the very first thing that happens, which all takes place right inside her Bitcoin wallet app.
It's really just a simple two-step dance. First, her wallet software grabs all the necessary info and pieces together the transaction. Then, it just needs to tell the network about it. And to do that, it sends this new transaction to any full node it happens to be connected to. Seriously, just one is all it takes to get the ball rolling.
And here's something that busts a pretty common myth. Alice's wallet doesn't need a direct line to Bob's wallet. She doesn't need to know where he is or how he's connected. All she has to do is announce her transaction to the network. The network itself will take care of the delivery. So Alice has told one single node about her payment. But how does that little piece of information get to the entire global network, including Bob, and so quickly? This is where a really brilliant and surprisingly simple technique comes into play.
It's a huge question, right? If that one node just told its neighbors and they told their neighbors, it would take forever. The Bitcoin network has a much more efficient way of doing things.
It's called gossiping. And yeah, it works pretty much exactly how real-world gossip spreads. As soon as a node hears a new piece of information, in this case, Alice's valid transaction, it doesn't keep it to itself. It immediately turns around and passes it on to every other node it's connected to. And then, of course, those nodes do the exact same thing.
And the power of all this gossiping is just pure speed. This chain reaction causes the transaction to spread exponentially, almost like a virus, reaching nearly every corner of the globe in just a matter of seconds. It's incredibly fast. Okay, so the transaction has spread like wildfire, and now it has reached a node that Bob's wallet is listening to. We've made it to the destination. But hold on, the journey isn't quite over yet. Bob's wallet now has a job to do.
You see, Bob's wallet doesn't just blindly trust this incoming payment. Nope, it does its own independent verification. It checks that the payment is actually addressed to Bob, it makes sure it's structured correctly, and, this is the big one, it confirms that Alice is spending valid Bitcoin that she actually owns. These are called UTXOs, or unspent transaction outputs. It's kind of like making sure the cash she's using is real.
So you see, it doesn't matter if Alice sent the transaction directly to Bob, or if it bounced through a dozen different nodes all over the world. The end result is exactly the same. The information arrives, and Bob's wallet can verify it.
And that's really the key takeaway here. This decentralized gossiping system is what makes Bitcoin so incredibly powerful. It's a super robust and censorship-resistant way to broadcast information with no single company or server that can fail or be shut down.
So, Alice's transaction has successfully crossed the network and Bob's wallet has seen it. But, and this is a big but, seeing a transaction isn't the same as it being confirmed. So how does this piece of broadcasted gossip get officially stamped into the record, making it a permanent and irreversible part of the blockchain? Well, that is a story for our next explainer.